So we got Kamala Harris, right? She's talking about voter ID, right? So let's see what she gotta say about that. I already know she gonna be on some bullshit. Let's see what she got.
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinkos, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
Wait, what? What is she talking about? I don't even understand like why I don't understand why Democrats got like a big issue with that. I don't know, but like for what I'm understanding, what she was trying to say is that voter ID is just gonna make more difficult for people to wanna vote because it's like doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But what's the problem if people gotta like go an extra mile to make sure everybody that's voting actually is eligible to vote? That is the main thing, right? First thing first, I don't even trust anything Kamala says. And don't forget, she was the vice president when Biden was running the country. And she was in charge of the border, right? She was in charge of immigration. She let 20 million people get in this country illegally, right? And that's what I'm thinking. Like, only Democrats like don't want the voter ID because you guys gotta understand that the only party that got the most to lose with the voters ID is the Democratic Party. Because remember, they let 20 million people in this country illegally, and like a lot of the blue states, they don't require voters ID. I mean, they don't require ID for you to vote, so you can just go there with no ID and you can vote. They don't even know who are you. They don't even know if you're in this country legally or illegally. So basically, it seems like anybody can vote. Like I was looking for the states that you can vote without ID. Is like I think it's like 14 states. Hopefully, I'm not mistaken. 14 states that you can vote with no ID, and all of them are blue states. So these are Democrats, basically, states. And so me thinking about that, I'm thinking like that sounds suspicious that the Democratic Party is the only party that don't want to do voters ID. They got all these excuses talking about that, it's gonna mess with the women rights because they say like if somebody, for instance, if somebody's married, if a woman is married to a man, she gonna change her name, and then when she gonna vote, they're gonna be like, why you this is not your real last name. You know what I'm saying? So she gotta go through a lot of show other maybe other documents that shows the that was her last name before, but now she's married, so this is her current name. So they saying that it's gonna kind of mess with the like people's right. But if for me, like if voting is like really serious, because listen, voting is like basically deciding when we go vote for who's going to be the president, we're going to decide what's going to be the future for the country for the next 4 years. So I feel like we got to take serious. We cannot just be like, no, I don't think so. I don't like it. You don't like it. What do you mean you don't like it? See what I'm saying? And The reason why I don't trust Kamala is because she let her and Joe Biden let 20 million people get here illegally. And for that reason alone, I don't trust her. I don't care what she say. This is the interesting part, right? So CNN was showing a poll that shows that uh, most African Americans they want voters ID. Most white people they want voters ID. Most Hispanics they want voters ID, and of course the Republican Party they want voters ID. The only party that don't want voters ID, the only people that don't want voters ID is the Democrat Party. And guys, the other thing too that you gotta understand, right? The reason why I say that the Democrats are the only one that have something to lose when it comes to the voters ID is because remember, they let 20 million people get in this country legally. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of the blue states, the ID are not required. These people probably could vote. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you go do your because remember too, the people that got here illegally, you know, even like these people that got here illegally right now, they never gonna vote for a Republican Party. Trust me. Because the Democrats always gonna remind them, look, remember, we was the one who let you get in this country. And remember was trying to kick you out of this country. So the Democratic Party always gonna remind the people that got it here illegally that the only reason that they got in this country is because of them. And the only reason why a lot of them are not in this country is because of the Republican Party. So it is a big deal, guys. This is a big deal. So the Democrats know that if if because listen, this is the reality. This is what I believe, right? Let's say they pass this bill, the voters ID. The Democrats is never gonna. You think that if they approve the voters ID, you think the Democrats is gonna be on the side of illegal immigrants still? No, because they don't need them no more. You know what I'm saying? But for now, the Democrat Party they need the illegal immigrants because if they if these people decide to go vote and they let them vote because a lot of the states don't require ID, it's gonna help the Democrat Party. And remember too, the other thing too. Remember when you go do your citizenship to your naturalization interview, right? When you go do your interview to be a citizen of the United States, they literally ask you if you ever voted in a federal election. You cannot vote in a federal election unless you are a United States citizen. Even if you got a green card, you cannot vote. So if let's say you are a resident, right, and you are applying to be a United States citizen, the day the interview, you go there and they ask you, have you ever voted in a federal election? If you say yes, they're gonna revoke your citizenship. So that means that if you're not a citizen of the United States, that's illegal for you to vote. So that's what I'm confused. If that is illegal for somebody to vote if they're not a citizen, why why do you have a problem with voters ID? I'm so confused. I'm really trying to understand. And that's why I'm saying I just feel like the Democrat Party is full of shit. That's really just what I believe. And I feel like we as people, we should press for them to actually try to push for the voters ID. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, we cannot put our future and the future of your kids in the government hands or in the politician hands. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say, oh no, I'm a Democrat. But what does it mean I'm a Democrat? You know what I'm saying? Are you making sure that the Democrat Party is doing things that are in your best interest? That's a thing too. You know what I'm saying? you can just say you cannot think that the Democrat Party want everything that's in your best interest. And even if that's what you believe, you still gotta make sure that they are doing things that are actually for your best interest. Don't just believe what they say. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that they actually are doing it. So that's what I'm. That's why I believe that, guys, don't let you let these people. When you believe the Democrat Party, any party, when you just believe them, whatever they say, you making their job easier. You know what I'm saying? Because what you telling them is that they don't have to do anything for you. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do anything for you. You just gonna accept whatever they say. And I think we should not have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we should ask those politicians that don't want the voters ID why you don't want the voter ID, right? And if they tell you no, we don't want voters ID because it's gonna mess with people's right. Okay, so if you saying that, why is a law that says that if you're not a United States citizen, you cannot vote in a federal election. Even when you go study to the citizenship test, the one of the questions there is that, you know, so when you be the only time you can vote in a federal election is when you become a United States citizen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so guys, I don't want to. I really just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And but I feel like I kind of understand. And the only thing that I really can think about is the Democratic Party is full of shit. And guys, the other thing too that we gotta pay attention. I feel like the Democrat Party nowadays they ain't got nothing to say but like use the race card. Like, wait, so you want me to believe that Democrats don't like me because I'm black? I mean, Republicans don't like me because I'm black, but the Democrat like me because I'm black. Wait. So wait, what? So why should I believe that you like me? Because you a Democrat Party? You know what I'm saying? And I'm guys, we should not even live like that. Like, why? We live in 2026, guys. And I'm not saying that stuff like this cannot happen anymore. But I am gonna think for myself. I'm not just gonna let some politicians tell me that this party don't like you, don't like black people. What make you think that I should? What is you doing that I should be convinced that the Democratic Party is the party that like black people? You know what I'm saying? I gotta ask that question myself. So we cannot make the job for these people easy. Once you start believing everything they say, you making their jobs easy. They don't have to do anything for you. And that is the problem. You know what I'm saying? That is a big problem. So we gotta ask these people like, what do you mean what do you mean you against voters ID? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And always remember, guys, you cannot forget, guys, when you in a current administration, you always gotta remember. Don't ever forget what the other administration did when they was running the country. Because remember, Joe Biden was running the country, and all these problems that we having right now, that we gotta ICE gotta deport all these people, is because of Joe Biden. So you cannot just point fingers at the Republican Party for trying to deport these people out of here. They trying to fix a problem that somebody else created. And the only reason that Joe Biden left the border open was because basically they had a bill, and on that bill, Joe Biden put some money there to send to Ukraine. But the Congress didn't want to approve money to go to Ukraine. So he said, well, if y'all don't want to, because this is what politicians do, right? Basically, Joe Biden create a bill, right? Or the Democrat Party created a bill, and on that bill it was immigration, money to go to Ukraine, stuff like that. But this is what they do. They think they slick. So he put the money in to send to Ukraine included on our bill that immigration was included, right? And he's basically using to say, no, the Congress don't want to approve the money to close the border, whatever. What do you mean the money? No, you just want the money. Your only goal is to get the money to send to Ukraine. You don't care about the border. Like you do you think Joe Biden need the Congress to approve that bill to close the border? No, come on, man. You see how many people was getting in this country? The images it look like this cannot be in the United States. Like what? And that's my point. You know what I'm saying? These guys, these politicians, they play with our emotions, guys. We gotta stop. We gotta start thinking for ourselves. Stop thinking what they saying. Trust me. These guys, they they it's like politicians are like, when they say like, some people like are like uh what's that, career criminal. Politicians lie for a living. That's what they do. They lie for a living. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying it's not good politicians, but a good politician is not somebody that will always be honest and tell you what it is, tell you the truth. A good politician will lie to you. Donald Trump is not a politician. Donald Trump is basically just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really think about it, Donald Trump don't play politician. He really be himself. But forget about that. My only point is we need to ask these people why they are against uh voters ID. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.